everybody, and welcome back to our big Lapbook extravaganza. As anybody knows that's been following this, I am actually making two Lapbooks. I am making one that is pure Tim Holtz. All the fabric, the papers, it's upside down, everything to do with it is Tim Holtz. There's nothing going in there that isn't Timmy. But firstly, what I'm doing is sort of making this one from papers that aren't Timmy. These are papers I've downloaded from Etsy. And I'm using this as a sort of prototype, I suppose you could say. I'm trying out all my ideas on here to see if they work, rather than using the expensive Tim Holtz papers and finding that they don't work. But so far so good, everything's gone okay. So it's coming along now, we're getting, we're progressing really well. And this is what it looks like, look at that. Along the way there are two little detachable parts that sit in these outside spines. This is one of them. And I think actually it's going to end up there because the buttons keep interacting otherwise. So that's going to go there. So then I've still got one side signature, whatever you want to call it, detachable thingy like this to make for there. And then we've got a journal that's going in this on this back spine. So yeah, lots still to do. And then after we get all the construction done, of course, then there's all the decorating, which is the really groovy bit. I'll put that in that way and then it won't catch on these buttons. So that's that side finished, apart from all the decorating. That's going to have a journal in it there. But the bit that we're working on in the Timmy journal at the moment is this section. And we've done some of it. We've done the sort of flat bit. So this is just vellum in here and it's lovely. I love the feel of it and the sound of it. We've done that page. This page we've done that page, but this then flips up, this flips down, and we've done that page. So the two bits we've got to do are, let's see, this page here and this one here. So I think it's time we got on with those, really. Hope I can remember which goes where. I'll try and leave this open if I can. If I've got room on my desk at all, I'll try and leave that open so I can see which way things flip and flap, because it's very easy. It's very easy to lose your place in this. Right, this is the Timmy one so far. Let's just move those out of the way. So as you can see, this is the vellum. This is Tim Holtz vellum. That flips open. I love this image. I just love it. And then that flips open. There's our little vellum. This is a pocket, gets journaling card in. This flips open. So that's the stage we're at. We just need to flip up and a flip down. So I say let's start with the flip up, because that's the way it looks in the other journal. So I must just draw your attention to this. How gorgeous does that look? I don't even want to put journaling cards in it. It's just so pretty. Right, so the one that flips up is this one here. So let's do the easy side first. Take pity on me and do the easy side first. So you need to make sure that you've got, this is the same length as your journal, in my case 8 inches, and I've added an extra inch on the top, so we've got a flap to fold over and stick down. So let's fold that over and burnish it down, and then we know where we're at. Lovely. So this page, it's easy. Hooray! It's just a plain piece that goes there and then this pocket. So we can do that. It is just a matter of sewing round there, sticking these two sides on, then sewing round the whole thing. And can I just say, I absolutely adore both of these papers. This is my favourite of all Tim Holtz. But this little, it's kind of like a robin, he's just gorgeous. And he was one of the 6x6s. You know, on the back of all the Timmy books, he's got 6x6 and 4x4 and that sort of thing. This was taken from a 6x6 because it was the right scale. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to sew around there, come back, glue it, then sew around the whole thing. So you don't need to see me do too much of that, I don't think. I think we've done this before. We're all right. We're all right with that. Okay, so I'll see you in a sec. Okay, so that I've done that and I've actually glued it down. And doesn't that look lovely? It's a contender for my page of the journal, this. I really, really like it. So that's a flip. So as we flip it up, this is what we need to do. I've got this piece, which is going to be the back piece that everything's going to be mounted on. And then I've got a pocket. Isn't that lovely paper? I've got a pocket to go down there. And then I've got a faux envelope. And this is it. It's just a piece of 8x8 actually, that I've cut off to the right width. And it just folds like that. So you can open it up at any stage and journal on here. And I have tried this. You can journal on black on here. It works perfectly well. So that's just it's going to get sewn all around it, all around the edges. And then this back section is going to get stuck on there, like so. And I'm not going to do any more about closing it because I'm going to stick something on there when I come to decorate that you can stick that behind. So it doesn't need anything else. So what needs to happen here is, first off, the top of that pocket needs to be sewn across. Then it needs to be glued onto here and the whole thing sewn around. Then this envelope needs to be sewn all the way around, and we'll come back to stick that in place. So just across the top of the pocket, glue it on, then around the whole thing, and that's it. Oh dear, isn't that lovely paper? Oh, it's all lovely paper. So I'll see you in a sec. Right, so there we are. I have put that sewn across the top of the pocket, stuck it on, and zigzagged around the whole thing. And this I've sewn all the way around it, this faux envelope. I just wanted to show you at this stage the reason that I sew around everything and then stick it on is because the back of stitching never ever looks as good as the front. No, it just doesn't. And the reason for that, particularly on paper, not necessarily on fabric, I've got a bit of thread stuck in my gluey fingers, is that the needle goes down smoothly into the paper, but it's like a punch. It's punching every time. So a bit like I don't know, like a bullet. You know, it makes a small hole when it enters, but when it leaves, it's a great big hole. And it's the same thing with this. So you end up with all these bigger holes on the back, and there's not a whole lot you can do to disguise them. But if you go over it with your bone folder, you can kind of push those holes back down flat, some of them at least, and it will look a little bit better. If you go around the edge of your stitches, just try and push those holes back down. And it will never look perfect. That's why I choose to do it the way I do. Do everything so you can just see the top, the front, you know. But that makes it slightly better. So this is our envelope, our faux envelope. It's folded up like that, and it's just going to get stuck on about there. And I'm going to stick it on like a pocket along these three sides so I can put something behind it, and it opens up and you can write on it. I kind of like this actually. I kind of like it. So let's stick that down. And once we get this stuck down, that's this flip complete. Wow, been motoring this morning, guys. It's Wednesday here when I'm making this video, and it feels like it's Saturday. How does that happen? How do days feel like different days to what they are? I don't understand it really, but it definitely has a Saturday feel. Whatever that is. Right, so I'm just going to stick that down the edge like that. Let's just check that it's, well, it's anything but even because I've just moved it like there. Yeah, does that look all right? A little bit more that way. Yeah, I think so. Let's close it up and see. Does that look straight? Yes, it does. So let's just push the gluey edges down. Lovely. That should be great. So I'm just going to leave that with stick down, just like that for the moment, just to keep it. This doesn't want to stick, does it? What is it with our glitter glue and me at the moment? It doesn't want to stick. Maybe I'm just not giving it enough time. Maybe that's what it is. So I'll put it on again and then I'll leave it. Leave it alone. I had it there because I can see the line of the glue. There we go. Yep, that's fine. So I'm just going to press it down and then I'm going to leave it well alone. But that is that flap, the top flap finished now. Excellent, so pop that over there with that. And then it's the bottom flap. So here we are. Thought I'd lost my bit of black card. This is a excuse me, it's the same story. It's the same height, 8 inches, but I have come in quite a bit from the edge. I'll show you what I mean. This is sort of short of 6 inches ordinarily, but this one I've cut to come just inside those stitches there. So it actually now these flaps measure 5 1/4, and it's just so they're in enough from these creases that they're not going to get caught in it or interfere in it in any way. So that's that. So it's 8 inches plus 1 inch to tuck under, and it measures 5 1/4 that way. Okay, so far so good. Let's do the back of this one. So it's going to get tucked under there like that, and then it's going to fold down like this. So I've got one piece that is the entire thing, and that's, does that fit or is it just a touch? I think that might be just a touch long. So I'm just gonna, it is just a touch. Yeah, let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that's great. That allows me clearance for that crease there. So which was the one I've just cut? This one. Let's just colour in that white edge. Okay, so that goes there. Can't see an up and a down. Don't think this is directional. And this is an envelope that I made on my envelope punch board, and it's just going to sit down at the bottom there. It's going to be a pocket, and we'll put things in it as well. So that's as straightforward as you can get. This doesn't need sewing around at all. And just check, no sewing around. So yeah, all I need to do for this is sew around here and come back and stick that on. So I'll be with you in a sec. Right, so I've sewn around there and I've stuck it on, and it's time for a cup of coffee, or a mouthful of coffee. Amazing how dry your mouth gets. when you're recording. I don't know why that is. It's not like it's the only time I speak. I don't know. Anyway, this envelope, we just want to stick it down these three sides and kind of, you know, equal inside the stitching. That'll look lovely. So, yeah, I'm going to persist with this art glitter, but if it persists in letting me down, I'm changing. I'm going back to Collall for everything. It never seems to let me down, Collall. Mind you, I mean, the time the art glitter let me down just was because I hadn't let it dry, so you can't really expect miracles. But I do, repeatedly. So, right, let's get this in the middle there. I think that's about right. Let's just have a look and see if we think it's straight. Yeah, I think that's straight. Okay, so let's press that down. Got a bit of glue seeping out there, so we'll just get rid of that before it thinks about drying. Lovely. So I'm going to take my bone folder. Oh, I've gotten another bit here. And give that a jolly good press to within an inch of its life. And if it dares come off, I shall be most angry. Right, so that's that side done. Oh, a bit of glue there. So that flaps down like that. And on the other side, which is the sort of front bit, if you like, let's pop that up there out the way. It's easy peasy actually. Looks complicated, but it's not. I've got a piece of white copy paper. I've got a piece of vellum from the Holtz vellum 12 by 12s that I've got. And this is Holtz paper that I've just cut out to be the same size as my front, a little bit less in length, just to keep away from the crease. And what's going to happen, I've inked all around it, but I haven't sewn it yet. What's going to happen is that is going to go in there fairly centrally, and then the white copy paper is just going to go in there under the vellum. Don't want it on top of the vellum, that would not work. Just so you can see what the vellum says. And that's it. It's a frame, but it's not serving any purpose other than it looks very nice. I like it. So this measures an inch all the way around. So cut your paper out as you would normally to go on this flap, and then on the wrong side just mark, you can see where I've been marking mine, an inch round all the way, and then cut it with your craft knife or your scissors or however you would normally go about doing such a task. Ink everywhere, the inside and the outside, well, if you want to. And then turn that over. What on earth is wrong with the cat? What's wrong? So I'm going to lose one letter from there. So let's just stick that on. We are going to sew around this, but I'm going to need to stick it to some degree because vellum's terrible for shifting under the sewing machine. So does this have a top and a bottom? It certainly does. So this is the top up here. So let's get that right. So there, that's lovely. We don't have to worry about these loose edges because it's not a pocket. There's nothing coming in and out of it, so it doesn't matter about that. And then this just goes there. But I can stick that on after I've sewn around it. So what I'm going to do is sew around the window in straight stitch, and then I'm going to sew around the whole thing in zigzag. So it's pretty straightforward. Just querying whether that's exactly straight. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, see you in a sec. Okay, so with the sound of Bob barking in the background, this is this. I've sewn around it as I said I would, and what I'm going to do now is stick this piece of white copy paper over the back of the where the aperture is. So just a little bit of glitter. Like I say, this isn't actually serving any purpose, it's just looking pretty, so that's okay, can do that. Seem to be spilling more glitter everywhere else but where I want it. Let's just get rid of that little bit and that little bit. Oh dear. So, I want that just over there. Bobby! Just like that. And there we are. We can see that with that white behind it, you really can see what it says, and that it's vellum, and it looks lovely. So, that's the bottom there, so it flips like that. So this is the way up this one goes. So let's just stick that on, and then we'll stick the flaps onto the bit we've already got, and then they can all go in the book. Making progress. I'm just going to not put any glue over that white paper in case it sort of shows through. Doesn't need any on, I'll just do around the sort of frame. I'm not sure that it would show through, but I don't want to give it a chance and spoil what we've already done. There we go. So it wants to go that way. So start with this edge, get this one right up to the top and straight like that, and just make sure that it is right to the top, and then it should fall into place, which it does. Hurrah! There we go, so that's that one done. So what we have to do now is put them into this, onto this, and then into our journal. So the first one goes up here, like that. Blimey, too much going on. That's too much. Right, so it's getting unwieldy. So many flips, flaps and malarkeys going on. So I'm just going to put some colour there, not right up to the crease line, but plenty on the flap to hold it. And then centralise that as best you can. You get a better idea once it's folded down. Is that central? Is it heck? Yeah, I think that's okay. So push that down as far as you can. There. And because we're gluing it when it is folded, we know that it's going to fold okay. So that's good. Then just turn it over. And burnish into place. Right, so that's one done. That's that one done. That opens up. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Just trying to push this end in a little bit, just doesn't seem equal. Yeah, I think that's better. I think that is better. Right, so now we've got this one to put on the bottom here. This is a ridiculous page. There's too many flips and flaps. I am really sorry about Bobby. I know he's annoying. He's annoying me at the moment. We've got painters outside, and I think that's what's annoying him. Oh. That did not stick at all. There we go. So that should stick, that should come over there, and then that comes over there, and that comes over there. And it will, in the fullness of time, find its own sort of space, its own place in the world, because I'm going to put some weight on it, which always helps. So yeah, we've got that. Oh, we do need to remember to put some string on here. Let's do that now before we forget. Just make a mark at 4 inches. And another one at 4. Oh. I'll just use that and go up there. That'll be fine. So yeah, I want some string in there, and then I want some string on the back before we stick it in. Good job I remembered that, because otherwise we'd be doing our old trick of trying to stick it in once it's shut, once it's glued. So a fair bit of glue on there. Take your string. Just wobbling it around in the string so I kind of get it covered. Like that, that's great. Cut a bit off what you think you'll need. What you think you'll need plus a little bit, just in case. And then where's my Timmy tapes? I'm just going to put a bit over that. And then I'm just going to run a piece down there. Just a little piece. Like that. Now it can be stuck down. Now it's got everything that it needs to be stuck down. It does need some thread in, string in there, but that doesn't, that's fine. It doesn't have to have that before. I'm just shutting up my other one. A lot of parts now. An awful lot of parts. So come here, Timmy. Let's see. Is that upside down? I think so. Yeah, we've also got the outer pages to stick on. Which papers are we going to choose? What are we going to do for the cover? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Right, so that's going to get stuck onto there, and then it's going to get some weight on it, so it, you know, all lies flat eventually. So, collal. Put it over your masking tape as well. Not surprised I'm getting through so much glue, is it? when you consider even today all the bits that I've glued. Right, and then, so this goes, I've got glue on my thumb, which I don't really want. So this goes here, pretty much like that. Let's just have a look at the gap I've got at the top. Let's just take that out because it's being a pest. And once again, I'll say to you, the joy of collal, that you can actually move things around. Yeah, pretty happy with that. That's great. And there's no problem there with the hinge. No, none at all. Excellent. So that's that. That is that, apart from just tying on a little bit of string there. And I'm going to do it because then I can close it up and it'll be tighter when I put the weight on it. So just thread that through. Make a double or a triple knot, whatever takes your fancy. One. I think a double knot is probably sufficient. Do you? I reckon. That's not going to go anywhere, is it? I'm just going to tie a knot in there. No, I'm not. I usually cut that off, don't I? Yeah. Oh well, I'm going to put another one in, just for good measure. And cut that off. That's what I normally do. Yes. And then this can get fastened to this. Right, there we are. That's it. This is the final sort of full section for Timmy done. Isn't he looking spectacular? Yes, he is. Look at all the lovely Timmy goodness. Let's put that in there. Look at this. From one end, all the way to the other. There's loads of it. Right, so I'm going to put that under weight. The next thing that we're going to do, which will be tomorrow, is make the other little detachable bit for there. And then we're on to making the big journal. Hoo-hoo. So, yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for joining me, guys. I appreciate your company. And if you're joining along, if you're doing this alongside me, please comment down below and let me know that you're doing it, because I'm dying to know that other people are following along. And if you are following along and something isn't clear, just leave a comment and I'll get back to you and we'll try and sort it out. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.